Right, guys, hope you enjoy this show. It's going to be brilliant. I'm sure. I know it because it's us and that's what we do. But if you want even more of our amazing content, either in video or podcast form, simply head on over to redmenplus.com. Subscribe today. It's a bit like Netflix for Reds. Amazing content, documentaries, features, interviews, and a whole lot more. Yeah, go on over to redmenplus.com. Come and join us for another unbelievable journey with Jürgen's mighty Reds.
Hello everybody, it's the fan reaction show after Liverpool were beaten 1-0 by Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. Yay! 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 Toothless, Lacklustre and Disjointed. That's how Dan put it on our social media. End show. No, I'm kidding. That is pretty well summed up. It's fucking shit what Liverpool have been doing. 3 wins on the bounce. You think Liverpool have maybe turned the corner, and then you come here, City Ground, 12:30 kick-off, and put in an absolutely abject performance with no guile, with no creativity, with no desire shown to get back into the game once we went 1-0 down, and nothing really to hang your hat on from the performance in any way, shape or form. Yes, injuries have got something to say about how Liverpool are lining up at the moment, but injuries don't say how the players on the pitch are playing. And right now they're not playing very well at all. So this is the fan reaction show. I'm going to get some of my thoughts in on the performance while I get a lot of your thoughts in on the performance. I'm going to start with Twitter before I get into the YouTube comments. If you're a YouTube member, you can comment on this show, of course, while we are live. I'll be in the Club Legend Discord. If you're a Redmen Plus subscriber, of course, at Club Legend level. And on Twitter, we're such an embarrassment, said Evo, good friend of mine. What happened to us, man? I'm going to assume that is... not a question or a statement for me to answer because I'm not sure. I don't really know. But right now, I don't feel like Liverpool are an embarrassment. I just feel like Liverpool are pretty poo at the footy. And we're not playing very well at all. And it's tough. Simon from Threads for Reds, a really good friend of mine, says our sense of urgency and speed and transitions has been off for months. We're too slow to get back, so we panic and we let the opposition get all their players behind the ball in their own half before we attack. It's incredibly frustrating to watch. And Fahim replies, thank fuck I'm not the only one that noticed. And this is absolutely right, isn't it? There was times when Liverpool are on trying to get the ball and trying to get forwards and trying to get a goal, and we're doing it so slowly. We're letting Nottingham Forest counter-attack us. We deal with the counter-attack when we do deal with the counter-attack. And then we break slowly, pedestrian almost at times. And Nottingham Forest get all 11 men behind the ball. And we're in this position where we've got Jordan Henderson, and we've got Fabinho, and we've got maybe Andrew Robertson there in a line, wondering how we're going to break them down. And if Liverpool Football Club by now can't work out how to break a low block down, then I don't know what we can do, because we've been through this. We've learned this before. We do know how to break a low block down. We've proved that when we walked to the league title a couple of years ago. We've proved that last season when time after time after time we beat teams with a low block. But right now, this iteration of Liverpool Football Club, this evolution of Liverpool Football Club, without Núñez, without Diaz, and without being able to play Salah in, can't break teams down. And teams are there. The game plan is sit back, keep it tight, frustrate Liverpool, hit us on the counter-attack. And hit us on the counter-attack is what they're doing. We gave a fucking easy goal away thanks to Joe Gomez's poor decision making, and we were never able and never likely to get back into that game, although Dean Henderson did make a couple of absolutely fantastic saves. Craig Etherton, Curtis Jones should be nowhere near the first team. Poor footballer. Amazing how these keepers seem to have blinders against us. Fabinho dropped for the foreseeable, and Costas deserved a prolonged run. Okay, let's break that down. I can't get behind the Curtis Jones is a poor footballer thing. I really can't. I think he's a really good footballer, and I think it's very difficult to come into a side when you've played absolutely no football into a position that you've not played and put in a brilliant performance. He didn't do that today. I'm not saying he did put in a brilliant performance, but it's far too soon for me to be writing Curtis Jones off. I'm going to get into some of the YouTube comments then. Embarrassing. What on earth will this miserable run? When on earth will this miserable run of form end? I've written the season off now unless we can pull off a shock against Derby and go on a League Cup run. Jesus Christ, we're talking about League Cup runs after, I don't even know, 11, 12 games in the Premier League. Martin Jeremy, what the fuck has happened to these players' confidence? No creativity apart from an 18-year-old Elliot, which is shocking for a club of our size. And Elliott is a bright spark, and Elliott has put and shown that desire to get Liverpool back into the game. When you want to be looking around and you want to see your Mo Salahs and you want to see your Bobby Firminos and you want to see your Trents and your Hendos and your Fabinhos and your Virgils and all these experienced lads show that Liverpool can do this. And the one that seems to have the belief right now is the 18-year-old Harvey Elliott. How is that possible when we've got a bunch of lads who've been there and won it all and believed in the never give up attitude of Liverpool Football Club? That never give up attitude has been given up upon, hasn't it, at the moment? And it's friggin' pathetic. Brian Glosier's pathetic performance. Only Harvey Elliott showed desire to. I have no idea where we'd be without Alisson. Wow, yeah. Mo went missing after their goal. It's hard to see how we pick ourselves up again. Yeah, Alisson Becker deserves a shout out because time and time again he's proved that he is the player maybe on course to become our Premier League, our player of the season, I should say. He's fantastic, and we'd be in a lot worse position than 7th in the table if that's where we are right now without him, because he's keeping us in games, and he's keeping us in games what feels like single-handedly at times. 2 massive saves today, maybe more. It's really, really tough to take this at the moment. I mean, as any Liverpool fan, as you all watching will know, we've not been anywhere near good enough. I mean, we're sending our goalkeeper up for corners. We're not even a third of the way through the season. Well, that's what it's come to. It's really shocking. Flalana says, yeah, that's Curtis's last game ever. He's so far off our standards, it's unbelievable. This club needs to stop being a charity. Fabinho's been horrible too. Redman 97 says they're all terrible. Mane seen it in his game. Most of them have no incentive to do well anymore, need an overhaul. Sam Atkinson says disgusting. 132 drawn 5 says I can't think of a single thing Kurt Jones did all game apart from give the ball away. Pointless having him in the team. Embarrassing says Steve, once again lack of depth and no backup plan costs us. Weekend ruined already. Zach McElroy, I want the youngsters to play. I actually don't care. Drop them all except for Alisson. Jesus Christ. Team is just getting weaker every time we play. This is how you use R, but VAR saves you normally, says Big Mo. Kyle Harris says it's a fucking shambles. Absolutely abhorrent performance against a team that will be relegated, says Liam, and Liam is absolutely spot on. Nottingham Forest are likely to get relegated. It was an abhorrent performance from Liverpool. Mitchell says so many wasted opportunities, and why don't we shoot? Oh my God. Honestly, says Patrick, where do we go from here? The midfield looks shite, and a person who drive Fabinho to the airport to send them on a one-way flight out the country, he can't leave. Sifo says no pace on the wing. Charlotte Hardy says I've run out of words. Really thought we'd got some confidence back. The confidence is gone. It's run dry. This is where we are right now. And where do we go next? Because is Darwin Núñez the saviour of Liverpool Football Club at the moment? It looks like he was starting to get into some kind of form, and obviously he's not risked today. I just don't know how you change it. I mean, Thiago needs to come back in, but today he had an ear infection. No Thiago, no Liverpool Football Club at the moment. That's mad to say, isn't it? Because he is making us tick, and he's not got the best injury record, but without him in the middle of the park, Jordan Henderson come on, not great. Fabinho, not great. Kurt Jones, not great. Elliott, decent. Carvalho, tried. Mo, a ghost today, not involved. Bobby Firmino got himself about, but wasn't able to put the ball in the back of the net. Milner, okay, 36-year-old playing right back, got what you'd expect out of him. Joe Gomez, not good enough, too many mental errors, too many mistakes, and that's why he probably won't be in our best 2 centre-halves. Virgil van Dijk was more useful in the box, attacking than defending. Andy Robertson was meh. It was just all over the pitch, wasn't it? Mwanza Monday says genuinely what happened. I think having to go again after nearly winning all 4 last season has broke the lads. To have to fight with City season after season and lose probably drained the lads. That might be it. It's more than just that. It is going for the 4 and not being able to win the 2 big ones. It is the injuries. It is the lack of investment. It is the change of formation. It is the losing of Sadio Mane. It is everything, and there is nothing right now that these lads are able to do, I don't feel, that can change this around. We think 3 games on the bounce where you win a big win against Manchester City, and you've got to think to yourself, this is our opportunity to kick on and start rising up the table. But Nottingham Forest had a game plan. Nottingham Forest utilised that game plan really well. Nottingham Forest got the 3 points and deserved it. Rabadam since it's 20 Norwegian kroner, thank you again. Creative midfielder in January, for God's sakes. This is it now for me. If Liverpool don't get investment in the January transfer window, Liverpool might not make Champions League football. Forget fucking Jude Bellingham. If we can't get him in January, he won't want to play for us if we're not in the Champions League. We need to go out there and find who else is available, who's going to improve us. And listen, in the summer, I was quite happy to sit and wait for the prospect because I didn't think there was many players out there that could improve upon the team and the squad that we had. But after the performances so far this season, my view has changed. You could get hundreds of players out there that are putting in better performances than the lads that we're seeing on the pitch, and we've got to go and get a couple of them, and we've got to go and get them in January, because right now it doesn't look like we're going to make Champions League Champions League without it. Esther Bean says we're abysmal today. FSG need to back Klopp and spend big, but some of these players need to go. Not good enough. You're absolutely right. Some of these players aren't playing well enough. Whether they are good enough or not, I don't know. But the form is of players that aren't good enough. We desperately need Luis Diaz back in if he's one of our better players. We desperately need a Jota playing games week in, week out. We desperately need the new lad who we spent all of our money on to start really stepping up now. And he's probably got a platform to do that because he's going to look better than everybody else on the field. Big questions for the boss to answer. I know we're not even at the World Cup yet, but that time during the World Cup has to be spent right. It has to be spent planning for the future. It has to be spent planning for now and the same time. We need to find a way of winning games of football and getting ourselves up the table because, as we know, this 3 wins here, 1 loss, it doesn't get you 4th place. You need to go on a bit of a run. We need to put some distance between us because we're all cutting each other's head off at the moment. And right now, we don't look like one of the top 4 best teams in the country. We don't look like one of the 4 best clubs in the country. We look like a middle-of-the-road team that has run out of ideas at times, and we've looked like a bit of a set-piece team. And for Liverpool Football Club, with the players and the resources that Liverpool have spent and are willing to spend, we still should be doing better than we did. That has been the fan reaction show. Sorry for the negativity. I'm not feeling it at the moment. I'm feeling very down with the performances and the desire that's been shown by these Liverpool players. But I do appreciate everybody that's watching the content, commenting on the content, all the super chats that we've had today, and the support as ever has been incredible by each and every one of you. I've been Chris Pajak. That's been the fan reaction show, and I'll see you next time on the player ratings. We've got Steve very shortly. Ta-ra.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that show. Did you know Redmen Plus subscribers get access to their exclusive Facebook group? Yes, there is a Redmen Plus subscribers group on Facebook just for them. So if you want to get involved with like-minded Reds and avoid the ditch on Twitter and normal Facebook and all that, sign up to Redmen Plus, enter your username as you sign up to the Facebook group, and you'll get access to. Ta-da.